Rip Van Winkle is a short story written by the American author Washington Irving and published in 1819. The story tells the tale of a kindly but lazy man named Rip Van Winkle who lives in a small village at the foot of the Catskill Mountain in New York. Rip is constantly hampered by his nagging wife and takes to hunting with his dog all day in the mountain in order to avoid her. One day, Rip realizes that he has accidentally gone farther up the mountain than he ever has before, and as he's heading down again, a small man carrying a very large keg on his shoulder happens him upon. The man beckons to Rip, and Rip helps him carrying the keg through the mountain to a party filled with other small men who are playing ninepin. The men are quiet and seem to be suspicious of Rip, but he begins to relax and drink some of the beer from the keg. Soon, Rip begins to feel quite drunk and falls asleep. When he awakes, the men have vanished. Rip descends the mountain to return to his town and finds that rather than sleeping on the mountain overnight as he supposed, he has actually been asleep for 20 years. Everything he knew of in the new town is gone, and his wife has died. While he was asleep, the Revolutionary War took place, and Rip must navigate his new world as a free citizen of the United States. Eventually, Rip is reunited with his daughter and goes to live in her house with her. He spends his days sitting outside the local inn and telling his story to whoever will listen quite happily. This video will be discussing the life of Rip Van Winkle, which is very much related to American Revolution. Both Rip and America have a bad time before his sleep in the mountain, and both of them gain freedom and have a change in identity after his wake from sleep. Rip Van Winkle's life before his long sleep symbolizes the struggle of early America and before English rule. Quote, in a word, Rip was ready to attend to anybody's business but his own. But as to doing family duty and keeping his in order, he found it impossible. End quote. According to Jill, Rip was ready to do work for others. Rip's idleness could be perceived as the British perception that America was unwilling to focus on their duties as servants of the crown. Quote, a kind neighbor and an obedient hand-picked husband, morning, noon, and night. Her tongue was insistently going, and everything he said or did was sure to produce a torrent of a household eloquence. End quote. Everyone in the town was happy with Rip because of his helping nature, except his wife, who always blamed him. His wife, Dame Van Winkle, would get angry on him for everything he did. The suffering of Rip Van Winkle because of his wife Dame before running away into the mountain can be used as a metaphor to realize American colonies under English rule. Quote, sharp tongue is the only edge tool that grows near by constant use. End quote. According to Brian Freeman, the character of Dame Van Winkle is seen as a metaphor to the Royal England and its treatment of American colonies. Quote, he would seek refuge from these tirades by going away to town to sit in front of the tavern and remain idle with his friend. Soon enough, his wife would track him down. End quote. According to Norton, this is a direct pointing to the political situation with continued government control of England. England was very domineering and not willing to allow America its freedom. The escape of Rip to the mountain top and his identity loss after his long sleep is a metaphor for American Revolution War and identity of America after freedom. Quote, he does not recognize any of the villagers he passes, and they don't seem to recognize him. And the village inn, where he has spent so many hours, the picture of King George II of England has been replaced by an image of General Washington. End quote. According to J. Taylor, after waking up, Rip is not able to identify the people in his hometown. Also, the picture of the king has been replaced. This denotes the changes that occurred to American identity after Revolution. Quote, Rip's daughter takes him home to live with her. His wife has died, and he is now free to spend as much time as he likes. End quote. According to Michael Kowalak, his daughter who takes him home identifies Rip Van Winkle. Rip, much like America, could now enjoy the new freedom that they deserve. In conclusion, the story of Rip Van Winkle gives a comparison of life of Rip with the identity of America. However, it's all about the changes that occurred to Rip and America before and after his sleep. First part describes about how Rip was exploited by people, same like America, which was exploited by England, while the second part portrays the tortures Rip has undergone from his wife Dame, which is compared to the suffering of America under English rule. And finally, after the American Revolution, America had attained freedom. When Rip wakes from his sleep, Rip gets identified by his daughter and also enjoys freedom.